So guys, we continue with same series about love and the relationship. And as I mentioned, there are certain points we need to focus on this series. And these are the stuff you need to discuss with your partner to be able to maintain the relationship. Um, so as I mentioned, we need to renew love and excitement. We need to show love at the acceptance, discuss about our different childhood experience and the family of origin, differences in personality, distorted thoughts and the core beliefs. Communication is a big part of the relationship, even for today's topic. Sexual intimacy, which is part of what we're going to focus on, boundaries, parenting, how to experience gratitude in the relationship, letting go, forgiveness, how to cope with the stress and the challenges and the loss, how to share dreams and the goals. These are the main things that you need to focus on when you are in a relationship. And the same as we mentioned before, we need to be respectful, open, non-judgmental when we discuss these stuff with your partner. The focus today is on sexual intimacy. Okay, so these are a few points that you need to know before we start the exercise. Is that the experience and the expectation for sexual intimacy is different from one person to another. Also, sexual intimacy is for the same person is different from one stage to another. So sexual intimacy evolve and change along the course of your relationship because of the aging, because of physical changes, because stressors, because of kids, because of work, because of so many reasons that can change the sexual intimacy. So because sexual intimacy is different from one person to another and from one stage to another, the key here is communication. You will need all the time to communicate your needs, your desires, your fantasies about sexual intimacy. Also, you need to learn and read and increase your knowledge about sexual intimacy and to have realistic expectation. The problem with porn industry and pornography, sometimes it gives people unrealistic expectation about sexual intimacy. For example, you can watch a porn movie that shows that intercourse will last for 2 hours, but in real life, intercourse will be 5 to 10 minutes. So if you put your expectation for 1 and 2 hours, you're going to feel that you don't have a healthy sexual life. The same thing, porn industry and the pornography have lots of side effects and complication. One of them is the addiction. One of them, it affects self-esteem. It affects the relationship. And you get information that is not real or not true about sex life. And about what men likes and what women's likes and dislike. If you want something to give you more knowledge and improve sexual intimacy, there is multiple apps that sex therapists use. One of them is Blue Heart, and another one is Lover. If you put on iOS, like if you look up apps for sex therapy, you'll find like 3 or 4 of them that is highly rated, and most of people that I worked with who have a sexual intimacy problem, they used it and they told me it is good. Again, one of them is called the Lover, Lover, and the other one, I think, Blue Heart. The main point about sexual intimacy is a couple who don't feel emotionally close will not feel sexually close. Okay, I would say 99% of sexual problems start with emotional problems. Okay, however, like partner may complain about this part and say this part is not going well, but you find the core is a problem here, emotional and communication problem. Okay, to do this exercise, again, you're gonna discuss these questions with your partner. Okay. What question I need to ask them, and they ask me, okay, do you feel comfortable talking to me about sex? Because we said communication is important. Is there anything I can do to make it more comfortable? Do you think the sexual relationship we have, has it changed over time? Is it getting better or getting worse? What would you like me to do differently in our sexual life? Another question is about the past. You see the pattern in question. We always ask about the past because we know our past experience affect future expectation. So how did you feel about sex growing up? How important is sex in our relationship? Am I respectful to our sexual needs, to your sexual needs? Did your parent discuss sex with you growing up? Do you think that we have a healthy sexual life? And the last question, what could partner do to enhance their sexual intimacy? Okay, because this tend to be like a personal sensitive areas to discuss. We're gonna focus maybe on these 3 questions for our discussion. Did your parent discuss sex with you growing up? This is one of the questions. Do you think, what do you think is a healthy sexual life? Like, tell me, what do you think is a healthy sexual life when you have a partner? If you are having a partner now, what healthy sexual life means? Or if you are single and you're going to have a partner in the future, what do you think a healthy sexual life could be? And another question, that what could partner do to enhance their sexual intimacy? So let's focus on our discussion about these ones. The other questions, you can use it with your partner to discuss more about sexual intimacy. Another part in today's session is about trust. Okay. So trust is important for relationships. You can't have a healthy relationship without trust. Trust to involve what? Like trust my partner with what? You're gonna, when you start dating someone, you're gonna trust them with your feeling. Then gradually you trust them with secrets and intimate details about your life. Then gradually you trust them with your finance. Then you trust them with your kids. Then you trust them with everything. Okay, so trust involve all these parts. Okay, from my experience working with people who have relationship problem, is these issues usually have a negative impact on trust, like a devastating impact on trust, like addiction, abuse, any kind of abuse, emotional or physical infidelity, all have devastating impact on trust. So, and for today's session, I have few tips on how to build the trust when you are starting a relationship. I got these points from psychology. Positive Psychology website is a good website if you want a good, evidence-based psychological, advices. Positive Psychology and Psychology Today is a good website. So these are all tips to be able to build trust between you and your partner. So first one, be true to your word, which is honor your commitment. Honor your commitment. Okay. Communication, again, you need to communicate effectively and be clear about commitment. Build the trust gradually. So we're gonna take small step. Don't expect too much too soon, especially when you start seeing someone for 2 weeks. We don't expect you build 100% trust after a week. Make decision carefully, and mainly think before committing. Okay, and have the courage to say no if you have to say no. Don't say yes and then 1 week later you're gonna say no. This is gonna break the trust. Be consistent, because trust is built from consistency. Participate openly. So you will need, to be open. You listen to your partner, and at the same time, you give feedback respectfully and constructive feedback. Be honest. Like compulsive lying and the pathological liars will have a problem with trust. So always try to tell the truth. Help people, not just your partner, you help everyone, because when you develop the compassion and kindness to people around you, you will find it is easy for people to trust you. Be open to show your feeling, okay, and be open about your emotions, and practice emotional intelligence. What emotional intelligence means you know your feeling, and you try to understand other people's feeling. Avoid pride and self-promotion, and try to recognize others. Do what you believe is right. Know your values and stick to them. Sacrificing your values degrades trust. Okay. And according to 12 steps, if you make mistake, you admit mistakes. Remember, one of the 12 steps is we admit our mistakes and errors to ourselves, to God, and to others, or to another person. And then after we admit our mistakes, we make amends, right? So these are tips to build trust, how to build trust. Again, we have an exercise about trust. This is, you're going to be asking each other, you and your partner, this question. Can you trust me to keep a secret? Do you think I keep my promises? These are questions you're going to ask your partner. Am I able to remain serious and supportive when you share your feeling? Do you trust me when we are apart? Do you trust that I don't criticize you to others? Do you trust me with our finance? Do you trust me that I put you as priority in my life? Do you trust me that I will not abuse you or abuse the kids? Do you trust that I will not use addictive substance? Do you trust that I will respect our home and belongings? And the last general question is, what could partner do to build trust in a relationship? I give you some tips, but if you have different ideas, tell me what could partner do to build a trust in a relationship. So these are the questions. You can choose 2 or 3 of them to answer, but I would love to hear this one is the main one. What could partners do to build the trust in a relationship? And then try to choose some of these questions. Again, you don't have your partner now, but imagine that me, Dr. Attallah, is asking you this question, okay, or you asking your partner this question, okay. So I want you to tell me, okay, do you trust your partner to keep a secret, and does your partner trust you to keep a secret? This is one question. Another question: does your partner keep his promises, and do you keep your promises? Is your partner supportive when you share your feeling? Do you trust your partner when you are apart, and your partner trusts you or not? Do you trust your partner with finance, and does he trust you? Does your partner criticize you to others, and do you do the same thing, criticize your partner to others? Does your partner put you a priority? Do you trust that your partner will never abuse you and will never abuse your future kids, or abuse addictive substance? Do you trust that your partner will respect your finance, your home, your belongings, or not? So I'll give you 5 minutes to think about this question. So again, to summarize, the question about the sexual intimacy. Did your parent discuss sex with you growing up? And do you think that, what does it mean a healthy sexual life? And what partner could do to enhance their sexual intimacy? These are the questions about sex. The question about trust. you know, the main one is what could partner do to build the trust in a relationship? I'll give you 5 minutes to think about these questions, and we will start the discussion.